with the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be...
Back in the late 80s, Nintendo was at the top of their game with their NES console, and the main two games were Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. They were selling well, catching people's attention, and effectively rejuvenating the video game market. So of course, the next best thing to do with something that's extremely popular was to start licensing out to other companies for merchandising and other things. Of course, there were tons of Mario and Zelda products that were made through licensing, but the biggest thing to come out of it was when Nintendo partnered with Deacon Saban to make a Mario and Zelda syndicated television series that would mainly focus on Mario, with live-action segments featuring Mario and Luigi along with Mario cartoons, but it also switched to a Zelda cartoon every Friday. That product was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, produced by the animation company with the phallic name and Saban. But to be honest, I don't really know if I want to watch it right now. I mean, it's just so goofy, wacky, I'm just not feeling up to it right.
I'm Mario, and I'm telling you, if you're not watching the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you're gonna turn into a Goomba!
Well, that's a fucking deal breaker! So first off, there's the theme song, which I won't lie, it's kinda catchy. I mean, it's a pretty cheesy rap song, but it was the 80s, and that was when rap was getting popular, so it's at least acceptable for the time. In fact, there's a whole rap-based episode for the show that's comedy gold, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, the show was spearheaded by live-action segments with Mario and Luigi in Brooklyn performing wacky antics that had a Mario cartoon, and on Fridays a Zelda cartoon sandwiched in between it. Now, there's a lot of memes, jokes, and tons of other things spread on the internet about these things, so we'll go over them all one by one, explaining what they're about and their highlights per se, because oh boy, you're in for one heck of a ride. So first off, let's go over the live action segments that, as I stated before, follow Mario and Luigi and their Mario Brothers plumbing headquarters in Brooklyn as they act like the biggest Italian stereotypes ever by eating various Italian cuisine, getting into sticky situations that sometimes end in someone else's death, and getting visited by people like Inspector Gadget.
I have one question, fellas.
What's that?
How long have you two been working for the evil Dr. Claw?
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Mario is played by a late professional wrestler Captain Lou Albano. You know, the one with the rubber bands who always left his shirt open showing off his greasy stomach. Admittedly, it's a bit weird seeing a wrestler portray someone like Mario, but he does a great job playing him and shows that he can act like something other than a douchebag.
Uh-oh!
Luigi is also here, of course, and he's played by the actor Danny Wells, who I really have no experience with outside of the show, but he does a fine enough job playing as the inept brother, who sometimes is actually the straight man between the two. Now, about that Inspector Gadget cameo. You see, every episode of the show had a guest star in the live-action segments, so it would range from who the hell is this, and holy shit, is that Ernie Hudson? My favorite guest star by far was Sergeant Slaughter, who, as a Wikipedia article states, unleashes his wrath on Luigi.
What'd you make that pizza with?
Anchovies, grapes, and cheese whiz.
I don't like that thumping sound.
And later trains them after they get fucking drafted into the war, I'm not even kidding.
You hear that, Luigi? The sergeant's gonna give us a test to see if we're trustworthy.
Now the whole neighborhood knows.
A few of my other favorites were Magic Johnson, Shabadoo, aka Chad Warden basically, Lou Albano himself, and a magician.
Mario, well now, levels?
Luigi then realized that day that he didn't lose his life, his soul, his being. He lost something more. His brother. His paisano. Overall, though, these were guilty pleasures of a sort that, while obviously being pretty bad, are enjoyable in an unironic but yet ironic way. They were all in all just really enjoyable, and it really makes me sad that both Lou and Danny have unfortunately passed away. But then again, Lou Albano did leave us with this masterpiece.
Drugs can kill, and if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
He also left us with his amazing dancing, singing, and tripping in Do the Mario.
Take one step, and then again.
It's walking. It's literally just walking. That is the Mario. So now that we're done with the live action segments, let's move on to the cartoons. First up are the Mario cartoons, starring Lou Albano as Mario, Danny Wells as Luigi, and Harvey Atkin as King Koopa. They usually followed Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad going to a bunch of different worlds that would sometimes even be based off of movies, while making puns on Italian food, while Koopa struggles with multiple personality disorder every time he goes after them. Now, unlike the live action segments, I really don't like these cartoons. They just don't have the same, I guess, spirit that the live action segments have, as the writing is pretty bad, even when compared to the live action segments. The animation is pretty bad at points, and the fact that the original broadcast used licensed songs in it, it just tops the wow, this is bad cake. They're just very poorly put together, and honestly, I would have been fine with just the live action segments, but then again, this is a Deke show. Oh yeah, remember that rap episode I mentioned earlier? Yeah, it's hilariously bad. Again, I get it, for the time it made sense, but with rhymes like this,
He trapped King James in his castle. To get him out, it's going to be a great big hassle.
I'm not even sure that kids would find it enjoyable, because I sure as hell didn't as a kid. But despite all that, the cartoon segments do have some well-written lines.
Nice plumbing hero guy.
I mean, when when you turn your brain off and watch it, they're pretty enjoyable, but on their own, they're just kinda meh. Well, the only thing left is the Legend of Zelda cartoon that will replace the Mario cartoons every Friday. Basically, they're about as enjoyable as the Mario cartoons, to be perfectly honest. They follow the same gimmicks and tropes aside from the movie parodies, and they just set it into the Zelda world. The only things worth noting are Link's stupid catchphrase, and the fact that the voice of Ganon in the cartoon was the voice of the Green Giant. Yeah, I'm serious. So that was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and well, it was a syndicated 80s television show for kids, alright. It only lasted for a few months though before being replaced by other Mario cartoons, and to be perfectly honest, as unbearable as this show can be at times, it had more of an actual sense of feeling than the later Mario cartoons. You know, of course, aside from this scene in the Mario 3 cartoon. However, there was one Mario show that came after it that was just...
And that means another visit from Retso the Prize Rat. Hey, what's the deal here?
Yeah, King Koopa's Cool Cartoons with the voice of the pirate from the SpongeBob intro as Koopa. Yeah, I don't know either. Overall though, if you turn off your brain, you'll probably end up loving the Super Show for more than its cheesy live action segments and stupid pasta puns. Anyways, ladies and gents, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and
I got to show you better watch. Put down that joystick and get ready to ride. It's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I'm Mario. My brother Luigi and I are hot. Watch us take on the baddest bad guy in town, King Koopa. He's got his hooks out for Princess Toadstool, but we're gonna stop him cold. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It's awesome.
Super Mario, tomorrow at 7.